Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Friends at Gameology, hosted by MoonlightCrew.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less.
Lords of Waterdeep, the Dungeons & Dragons worker placement game. So it's set in Waterdeep Harbor, Waterdeep City, in the Dungeons & Dragons universe, and it's a worker placement. And so you're going to place on these buildings that you see, and then as the game progresses, more buildings that come out, and you're going to get resources. There are 4 different types of resources, which are actually people. Your wizards, your rogues, your clerics, and I forget the last one. Warriors.
Fighters.
People have actually made miniatures out of these, so you can go and you see they're actual people. But they're represented by these colored cubes. So you're getting those so that you can complete quests. So you're going on quests, and that's what these cards are, and to get points. And so at the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins the game. And so you're all a specific lord that gives you bonuses for different quest type, and there's one that does it for buildings in this base game, and that's pretty much the game. You're playing intrigue cards. You're doing all these things that do different things to help you complete your quests. So let's talk simplicity versus complexity.
When I was first taught this game, I was very reluctant to play, and I kind of got dragged into it, and I thought, it just looks kind of busy. I didn't think it would, I just had a misconception of what this would be, and when I played it, I was competitive on my second turn. It's so simple. You start playing, and once you get how a round works, you will be competitive, and you could win that game on your first game. It's that type of game. It's not very complex, despite all of the moving pieces.
I would agree. On the quest card, it tells you exactly what you need and then what you get from it. And so there are certain buildings. Most of them just give you stuff. Some let you play the cards. I really like that the way it's laid out. Like your player area, you got your tavern, you have your agent pool, and then you have where all your quests and your lord goes. So your lord is going to stick under here. Your completed quests go face down here after you've completed them. And so and then there's quests that do things during the game that help you, and those are plot quests, and those go on the side. I just like that the way it's set up, because you can, this is how I organize it. I know exactly what's going on in everyone's tavern, pretty much, because you do things that affect other people, and so you can easily say, oh, you need this? Well, I'll give it to her, whatever it is. And so I think this game is very simple to understand. There are lots of moving pieces, but still pretty simple to get, like Tom said, competitive after your first turn. Luck versus strategy.
There's a lot of strategy in this game, and I think that comes from maybe pandering to your lord, playing as your lord. I need piety and warfare. What do you need?
Piety and commerce.
So we have a little bit of a competition for piety quests, or pious quests, and
very pious people.
And so, are you going to build buildings early? Are you going to try for hard quests early? Are you going to try to get a bunch of resources and just sprint at the end? Your strategy matters so much here. There is some luck as to what comes out. I need to get piety. There aren't any to be seen. What are you going to do? I want to get some intrigue cards, and instead all I draw are these mandatory quests to play on people, and it's like, that's good, but I'd rather have something that helps me more. What buildings are available? So, there's an element of luck here. This isn't chess, but I think there's a lot of strategy.
I think there's a lot of strategy. If I notice Tom going for piety quests and he's just going for them, well, then I'll be, okay, well, I'll focus on commerce then. If they're easier for me to get, I get the same amount of points for each, right? So maybe I'll focus on getting those. There's an amount of, like Tom said, luck. And what comes off, if you get a really good quest early on that helps you, not just with points, but helps you do something cool, that'll just boost your game. If you get the builder as your lord, then you might just win if no one else stops you, for example. But I do think there's a lot of strategy, a huge amount of strategy, and I think a lot of that strategy is timing. When you do things, like Tom said, when are you going to go for these big quests versus the small ones? When are you going to attack? When are you going to build? I think the timing is really big in this game. So I think that's where the big strategy comes in. Fun versus boring. This game is super fun. At one point, it was my number one game. It was so fun, and not that it's dropped so much. It's just other games that I play more just because of the hotness, right? Whatever's hot. But every time I play it, I really enjoy myself. I enjoy the interaction that there is, because there's tons of interaction with other players, good and bad. This game makes it to be interactive, and so I really enjoy that. And then I just like picking up the cubes. I guess this is one of the first worker placements that I really took to and liked, because it was shorter than a lot of other ones. It was my turn very quickly. And it was also just an hour and a half. It wasn't, some worker placements can be hours long, and this was not that thing. So this is a fun worker placement. One thing I did not notice the first 10 times, however many times, was that the board had there are buildings. All these brown dots are houses and buildings. I did not realize that was part of the game, or it's not really part of the game. But I didn't realize that was the theme of that. So that's also pretty cool. But something that blew over me that I didn't notice.
This game is fun. A big part of that is the tension of the game. It's a worker placement. If Molly is placed where she can get orange cubes, which represent fighters, I cannot. And so while I'm playing, I'm thinking, I really need that purple, but if I go there, Molly might go on the oranges and I won't be able to get it for an entire another round. Maybe I'll have to go to the building to build something that gives oranges, but when I do, somebody else could go there and then I won't get it for that round either. And there's that tension of what's more important, what do I go for now? What do I try to block because I think that my opponent's going for? It's a lot of fun, and every game you play is different from the player range. Two players is so different from 5 players. I recommend this game, highly recommend. I've always enjoyed it. Board Game Geek rating.
I would probably get a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say 10 out of 10 for me. This is always a hit, and pretty much everyone that's played it with us has enjoyed it. And we've played with a lot of people.
Yeah. Every time we get to multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away a free glitter painting of your favorite geeky thing. So make sure to subscribe now on YouTube.
It could be you that wins.
Lords of Waterdeep, we've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.